this will be Marguerite's first scene. This is taking place after Doc and Milk's co-scene of the other day, or around actually during the same time. So, all right. So you are at the Riverview Inn right now. This is let's see chronologically. I believe it's day 10.
All
So
right.
day 10 in the chronology. And I believe you brought up that you were trying to find some leads on your father here.
Yeah, because he disappeared when he left to go make the deal of a lifetime in the Empire.
Alright, so yeah, you can try to ask around. You can try to ask around here or ask around the city of Grunburg and make some gossip checks if you'd like. Would know somebody know what you'd
Well,
like to do.
I would like to try to find if there's any kind of merchant guild headquarters or owned building.
There. Let's see. There would probably be something small scale like that here, but you could
That's what
also
I was
go to the
thinking.
marketplace and ask specifically.
Go to the marketplace first.
All right. So we'll take you out to Grunburg here.
All right.
So you can just roll some. Let's see. I would say, I would say gossip would make the most sense.
All right. I'll roll for gossip. Oh. Any bonuses or minuses, or just a straight gossip?
We'll give you a 5 because these are merchants. I mean, you know merchant speak, and I think you have guild tongue as a skill even. I'm not
I don't
sure.
think so, actually.
Oh no, well, you're a merchant though.
Yeah, I
You're
don't.
part of a merchant's family, so yeah, I'll give you a +5 for interacting with merchants. Why not?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, nobody around here in the marketplace. You know, you bring up your father's name, or you know, you read the name of your guys' business, or what have you, and then they're not ringing any bells offhand to any people. You could look for more specific avenues to try at, or if you thought he might have traveled through here, maybe there's other places you could ask.
Mm. Well, knowing my father, he'd probably try to avoid dark alleys and such, because honestly, he was a bit of a coward.
Hmm.
So I would try to think the most legit place you can do trade. But if it wasn't in the markets, then is there any kind of high class inn?
There are a couple of taverns that are sort of higher end. I mean, taverns are taverns, but there are also certain
Yeah.
clientele of frequent places. The
Hmm.
Cobblestone Keep was one that was pretty popular with merchants, and
So can I go check that out?
yeah, you can. Yeah,
All
so
right.
you head over to the Cobblestone Keep, and on your way over, you see some of the gutter blades. One of the gutter blades kicking around, and he, let's see if he sees you actually. So, are you trying to do this on the sly, or is this more?
More.
Is this more like you don't really care if people from the company see you around, or are you trying to do this on the sly, or what's the?
Mm, I would say more on the sly, because I don't want to show any form of weakness to these people.
All right, so let's see if he notices you then.
Hmm.
Nope.
That's good,
He's
because in my
more
mind,
concerned with what he's doing, which is playing some sort of weird dice game over there in some alleyways.
mm, well, in my mind, I feel like I'm better than all of them. So the fact that I'm having trouble finding leads, it's I don't want them to see any weakness in me, since I am, of course, better than all of them.
Hmm. I mean, he wouldn't know what you were doing, but yeah, I mean, if you
Mm,
just if you just think you're better than them anyway, you probably want to interact with them more than you have to.
Yeah, not really. I don't know half their names.
I don't even know my captain's name. Um, so yeah, you head over to Cobblestone Keep, and I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and pause this one. Give me 1 second, North. I'm sorry. All right. After that brief pause, we're back. Um, okay. So Cobblestone Keep. Yeah, you go into the
Yeah.
Cobblestone Keep, which is an inn, and it looks a bit more upscale, but not much better than what you're staying at. The clientele looks a bit more um, upscale, up like more noble, richer kind of people mingling around, and the atmosphere is a lot more quiet.
Hmm.
And there's sort of a nervous-looking man with some very damaged glasses on his head, cleaning cleaning tankards behind the bar.
So I go up to the man
Mhm.
and I ask him if he has recently seen any Bretonians come through.
And he looks up from his tankard he was cleaning, and he's looking at you, trying to like squint and see with his glasses. And when I mean these glasses are messed up, I mean like legs are bent all around, and it's like
Hmm.
barely hanging on his nose. Uh, Bretonians, you said. And uh, he sort of he sort of grabs at his chin beard. Uh, what specific kind of Bretonians? We get more than you might think in these parts.
Well, he would be a man of means. He would have goods to sell, and he would be about my height, and he would be wearing the colors blue and yellow.
Blue and blue and yellow.
Yes, it is the color of our family's crest.
Ah, he's sort of starts shaking his head, and he's been shaking this whole time, but this is like the
Mm.
first real like. It's like no, that it doesn't ring any bells, but my mind has been gone more as of late. You you may ask around. We do get some merchants coming in from out of town here at this location quite often. They like to stay in this particular location for some reason.
Well, thank you very much for your help.
Oh, madame. He slightly bows and he shuffles off to some other corner of the
Mhm.
bar.
So I look around and does anyone look like a Bretonian or maybe more upscale merchant?
There are quite a few in here. You could approach
Oh,
one, or
okay.
you could gossip again with a bonus because he's your
Uh,
merchants. I mean, it's up to you.
I'll try gossip again. I mean, it should be one of my stronger skills.
Should.
Gossip 5. There we go.
Yeah, so you run across some a table of merchants, and they're not Bretonian, but you chat them up a bit, and they they don't remember that man specifically, but when you introduce yourself, I'm assuming you full on title it like.
Every time.
Yeah, so when you introduce yourself, one of them mentions that they have a an associate named Lord Aldenheim that met with a man with with your family last name while in town. That gentleman was in town. He mentioned sort of an agreement, a deal that was being worked out, but they haven't
And where
seen.
could I find this lord?
Let's see. Yeah, he would be. He actually lives in town, which a decent amount of lords do, but more of them try to get away from the town, is because it's smelly down here, right?
Hmm.
But he lives in town. He lives in a pretty rich section of town. He owns his own manor. has his own servants, and his own guard. I mean, he's pretty well to do here in Grunburg. Um,
Okay.
so I mean, yeah, he gives you a general sense, a general idea where it is. The man himself hasn't been there a great deal, because Aldenheim keeps to himself.
So he's a recluse.
Sorta, sorta. He comes out from time to time for, you know, Vestag and things like that, but
How far is it from the tavern? Is it like on the edges of town or?
about an hour, not too far.
Okay, so I guess I'll make my way there.
All right. So you make your way over to what you believe is Lord Aldenheim's estate, and it's pretty impressive from the street level. I mean, it's a multi-decker house. You see that he's got a pretty decent garden. I mean, it's not that you've seen way better in Bretonia, right? You know, like you've seen
Yeah.
what Knights of the Realm have, and probably whatever Lord of Aquitaine has, and it's it's nothing compared to that. But it's quaint. It's decent for
Okay.
some fools of the Empire, some
Yeah.
evil fools, and you see a couple guards out, and outside by the gatehouse is also a man sort of cleaning the cobblestones with a broom out front. He is dressed like so.
So I go up to the man and ask him if this is Lord, was it Altdorf?
Aldenheim.
Is this Lord Aldenheim's manor?
Yes, my lady, it is.
How would I get an appointment with the Lord?
He eyes you up and sort of, well, our lord is married. If you're not from around these parts, I do not think he would potentially want that sort of appointment, if you catch my meaning.
I see your confusion. I am not a lady of the night, but a simple burgher. In fact, I come from a family of merchants. Does the name de Bournonville mean anything to you?
It's like, oh, you are of de Bournonville's stock, is it?
Indeed.
I see. Well, how might I assist you again?
Well, I'm in the town temporarily on business, and I thought, well, my father disappeared in this region a few years ago, and I would like to see if I could possibly find out what happened to him. My family back home worries so, and it would be of great relief to know what actually happened to him.
And on that account, you wish to speak to my lord?
Just to find out a few tidbits. Nothing too serious.
He stiffens up. Well, I will bring him the request. I cannot guarantee that he will wish to meet you anytime soon. He is a very busy man, of course. But I will send for you when you have your answer.
Thank you very much.
And so he bids you good day. And
I do a little curtsy.
alright, and so a pretty good amount of time passes getting towards the evening, and a servant is dispatched back to the tavern you were staying. I'm guessing you guys exchange information enough to where he could.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a servant is sent to sort of bring you and guide you along the streets. And you arrive back at the mansion and are let in.
Ooh, very nice.
And when you come inside, I mean, it's a stark contrast from the outside, because the outside looks like just a bit cleaner than everything else, right? It's just like, your typical kind of standard buildings around the town, but it's just bigger. and has a couple of amenities. The inside is lavishly furnished, has beautiful antique tables. You even see some Bretonian, style artwork in here that reminds you of home.
Finally, some real culture.
And it's just all manner of antiques and things like that. And you're escorted to sort of a meeting room. Well, not a meeting room. This is more of like a gathering room. And as you see here in the picture, and a man and a woman, both very prim and proper, well dressed, well groomed, are both sitting on a very expensive looking sofa there in front of you as you come in. And the man stands up and smiles and says, "Ah, you must be Marguerite de Bonneville." And he bows and he says, "I am Lord Aldenheim, and this is my lady, Lady Aldenheim. Please, if you would." And he gestures over towards the seating over there, across from them.
I tell him that I thank him for allowing me into his beautiful home, and I take a seat.
"Oh, it is only my pleasure, my lady. I am very happy to have you. Your father was a good friend. He was not a man I knew for long, but a good friend all the same. And I'm glad that you appreciate my humble abode." He has a seat. Now, what was it that you wish to discuss?
Well, a few years ago, my father came to our family, hands in the air, screaming about the deal of a lifetime. And then, almost as soon as he came, he left for the Empire, and we never heard of him again. Apparently, though, you were lucky enough to meet him when he was on his, well, whatever he was doing in the Empire. And my family worries. We're all very anxious to know what happened to my father. And hopefully nothing that puts a stain on the honor of the de Bonnevilles.
You said that he has been gone from the homeland for 2 years.
No, just about, yes.
This is strange, my lady. He visited me almost 2 months ago. He was
But
in perfect health as far as I had seen.
why would he not return home then? We have heard no letters, no news, nothing.
Did he elaborate on this deal at all? Who he was meant to meet, or where he was to go beyond?
All he said was that it would change our family's lot in life. Words like royalty and gold beyond measure. He was always the black sheep of the family, and as such as I was as well, but he took more offense to it. And when he went off, we just believed that he was being a fool and trying to make a name for himself, try to rise above the stereotypes that he was given. But not much information on what the deal was itself, except for, of course, as I said, it would give us gold beyond measure.
With the gold beyond measure line, he looks a bit troubled. "My lady, I believe I must confide in you." And his when he says that, his wife's like, "Don't," and looks at him. "It's not worth risking your life over." And he looks at her and he thinks about it for a moment. He's just sort of thinking what he should say next.
Please, if it's anything that can help me find my father, I promise I will not say a word to anyone about anything that is said in this room. I have no grudge against you or your family.
And he looks at his lady. "She deserves to know what could have happened." He looks back at you. "When your father came here, he spoke similar things to me, looking for me to invest in his venture. He meant to meet someone in Altdorf. He would not say who, only that it had the potential to change everything about his life. When your father came to me, what he did not know is that I have heard these tales before from my fellow nobles, a few of them. These same men made this same trip to Altdorf, and I've never seen them again. Now, maybe what they say is true. Maybe they became rich. Maybe they live lives of luxury. But he sort of shakes his head. Why have I not heard from these men again? Why do they not speak? Why do they not tell us what this great secret is? There is something, I believe, wrong, sinister about whatever this deal is. I've seen...
My father may be a fool, and even a bit of a coward. But I don't believe he has an evil bone in his body. It's even difficult for him to cheat people on prices, which meant, of course, he wasn't the greatest of merchants, but it was at least a virtue that we all admired in him. To say that he would possibly rob and kill these men, or whatever it is that you're implying, I simply cannot believe it.
There was not an evil bone in any of my compatriots that followed this trail either, but they disappeared all the same. I would not deign to blame your father, my lady. I merely think that he may have fallen victim to something more sinister.
Did he ever say, when you were talking to him, who or what it was in Altdorf that he was seeking?
He refused to tell me unless I invested. I refused to invest unless he told me. But he was in quite a huff.
Who were the nobles who did follow my father in this venture? Do you have any of the names?
I will put out a few of my servants to get you a list if I can. You're staying at the Riverview?
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed I am.
I will get a man with a list whenever I have the names if you're going to be in town a few more days. And I will try to keep this under wraps as best I can. I hope you would have the same discretion, because if there is something at work here against the nobility, against the people of the Empire, I would not want fates to befall my family such as might have befallen those who followed this trail.
Of course, my lord. My lips are sealed as a sister of silence.
He nods. Would you require an escort back home? It is getting late, and this conversation has been quite a trouble to me.
An escort would garner too much attention. I will return back to my tavern by myself, but worry not. I am more capable than I seem.
And the lady kind of looks like annoyed at that, like, you know, oh, he's trying to impress my husband type stuff. But he's like, yes, I am sure that is true, my lady. And he, you know, bows, and I will walk you to the door at least.
Of course. Thank you, my lord.
And he, you know, walks you to the door and heads back out into Grunburg. Let me bring you
So
right
is it nighttime now? Like,
It is.
all right.
So let me get you out here. So you are walking home or not home. You're walking back to the tavern, which is home for now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're walking through the night streets of Grunburg, and it's you hear chatter here and there. There's lights on. It's not pitch dark, but it is quite dark. And as you're walking down one of the many streets, um, there's a robed figure sort of walking out in front of the road in front of you, but very slowly. And it seems to be sort of trying to like walk towards you to meet you in the middle of the street. And you're a fair distance away now. I'll actually give you kind of a
Okay.
visual there.
All right.
And it stops and is just sort of you can't see under the hood, but it's just kind of standing in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm. Now, is he? So, how close is he to me? Like within earshot, or
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
like?
it probably hear you just. I mean, the streets are pretty empty, you know.
Okay. So he's like blocking the street then.
I mean, you could try to walk. You could certainly walk around him if you were walking towards him, but the figure is standing directly in the middle of the street in your way.
So I'll try to walk by him and say, "I have no interest in your peasant religion or cult. I already have a god, and I'm most likely not going to follow one that allows his men to stink like you."
And he pulls back the hood, and this is the face that you see.
Oh,
My
shit.
lady, my God offers such wonderful sustenance, for he hath brought me you.
Now, how much do I know about the Chaos Gods or whatever it is that this guy follows?
Probably not much at all. To you, this is. I mean, you know what mutants are, though.
Yeah.
So then this is definitely a mutant. Uh, so
So I
and we will do.
Well, I fall back because coming from Aquitaine, I've never seen a Skaven or an orc or anything. So this is truly the first monster, you know what I mean, come face to face. So I'm kind of paralyzed for a bit, but when I regain my senses, I start screeching at the top of my lungs, "Gods! Gods!"
All right, and
Pure fear washing over me.
so you scream out, and he throws back the hood and cloak, and he's got a pretty. Oh, the music's messing up, of course. Let me try to rectify that.
Yeah, there we go.
He throws back his hood and cloak, and his body's just scarified and disgusting, and he's discolored. In his mouth, I mean, you see that tongue, and it's like hanging out,
Ugh.
fangs backing it, and he's gonna whip his
What
tongue
the-
at you and try to grab you with it.
Oh, okay.
So I believe for grappling, it is a strength test.
So I gotta roll strength.
Yeah, I believe it's opposed. Or no, I believe it's opposed if you're trying to break out. If he hits his grapple, then he's got you.
Then it gets okay.
Let me find a sheet here.
I'm gonna be honest. I was not expecting this. Holy shit. Yeah, like I said, this is Aquitaine is known for being the most boring and peaceful place like in the world. So this is like oof.
Actually, gotta double check. It's not a weapon skill test to grapple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to get that wrong. Unarmed attack. So it's going to be a weapon
Come on.
skill.
Okay.
It's going to be a weapon skill against... If it's successful, you must take an agility. So...
Alright, so it's agility.
Yep. So he's going to do a weapon skill test. He gets a +10 for his tongue.
Woo.
Fails. Tongue whips by your head, and you sort of backstep before it turns back around to try to wrap around your neck. And we're not doing initiative, but it is your turn again.
Oh, okay, so it's full-on combat now?
If you want it to be, you can try to run. I'm not going to stop you from trying to run.
I won't run. If I kill this creature, I'll be able to laud it over that idiot Lando forever. How dare he take the captaincy from under me?
Alright, go ahead and...
Okay, so I'm gonna roll attack.
Is your weapon readied?
Oh, no, it's not. I gotta ready it. Is that a half or full?
That is a half.
Well, ready and attack then with my rapier.
Alright, good. Nice!
Okay.
Marguerite's been so good this campaign so far. Wow, that's pretty
9.
good.
Boom! That's the max damage.
So you get a nice stab through his leg.
Mm-hmm.
He reels back to and back to him. I cannot wait to someone find Batonian Fifth. And he's gonna whip his tongue at you again.
Yeah. Marguerite may be putting on a brave face, but there are tears welling up in her eyes. Holy shit!
He tries to wrap around your leg this time with his tongue, but you just backstepping him. I mean, it's quick, but you can kind of guess where it's gonna go.
Mm.
It's back to you again.
Now I'm gonna do an aim attack.
Roll a perception before you do that.
Oh, perception, okay. Uh-oh. Perception. Ah, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
A regular attack, or I can do my aim attack?
Yeah, you can do your aim.
Okay.
Go ahead.
She is God! Okay.
Oh, baby.
Boom!
Wow. +/-1. That's weird. Oh, it's
Really?
with SB. Okay. Wow. Oh yeah, he's got a strength bonus too. Okay.
Yep.
So that's gonna
medium
be a crit roll of +5.
Holy shit! Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. No, he wasn't that badass. But then neither were you, so But apparently you are. So 44. That is 8. And that was, where was that in the body?
Left arm.
Left arm. A lot of arms. The arm is now a dangling mass of bloody meat.
Ugh.
Anything held in his hand is dropped. So and that was the right arm?
Left arm.
Left arm? Okay, so he didn't have anything in his left arm. Blood loss such the character has a 20% chance of dying each round. Test at the start of victim's turn. Use sudden death rolls for any further critical hits from his opponent. He's not out yet.
Not yet.
He is. So how do you handle this guy? What do you do to his arm that ruins it so?
Well, Marguerite, being the brave hero she is, closes her eyes and slashes wildly. And when she feels she hits something, she opens it, sees what the result of her attack was, and barfs a little in her mouth.
Yeah, it's pretty gross too, because like the flesh on his arm is gross.
And then she starts whispering constantly, "Mermidia, protect me," like as a chant, just
And so
freaking the heck
a
out.
good portion of his arm is just straight up, just like you get it at the joint, and so it's like you can see down to bone, and you've even like chipped off a bit of bone there. And he's just wailing in pain, like I'm going to kill you, Britonian Biff. And he's gonna go one more time with his tongue, trying to grab you.
Oh,
You
shite.
need to make an agility, or you are grabbed.
So I have to do an agility roll?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Alright, I believe that's... So yeah, you are currently immobilized.
Alright.
So neither one of you can dodge or parry. And the only action you can attempt is a full action to break the grapple with an opposed strength test.
Okay.
But it is back to your turn. That is a full action to do.
So I gotta do a strength test?
Yes, it is at opposed strength.
Oh no, this is not gonna go well.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna fail harder than he is. No, yeah, but that'd be what it would take. He gets a bonus for grappling tests. Oh, he succeeds. And he's now gonna try to bite you.
Ooh. Yeah, me with no armor.
Yeah. Make sure to see he gets a bonus. Any outside melee attack. So this is no, he doesn't get a bonus. Except that he is gonna aim.
Mermidia's with me.
And you hear footfalls, sort of in the distance. And it'll come back to your turn. These two won't be added to the mission, but
Oh, like they're coming closer, they're coming towards us?
yeah. And these ignore the nameplate. That's not what these are.
Well, I don't see anything, so it's cool.
No, you don't. No. Should be at the top there.
The only thing I see is my character's nameplate.
Okay. Do you see the top there? At the.
No, I see the two guys up top there.
Yeah. So you see two guys out in the distance, heading towards where you two are. And it's back.
And I'm just saying, please be normal, please be normal, please be normal.
And he's gonna.
No more tongues.
He's gonna test perception, to see if he notices them.
Okay.
Does not at all. He is clearly focused on tearing you up if he can.
It's hard to take your eyes off me.
Alright, go ahead, it's your turn.
Strength, strength, strength. Yeah. Hard to break out of. Yeah.
4 degrees of failure, so let's see. Nope, you're still in it.
Yep.
And he gets one more before those guys get involved. Try to bite you.
Oh no. Three damage.
3. So I believe you only take 1.
Yep, so that's 10 wounds.
And, out from behind him, you hear, "Oi, you there! Stop!" And the mutant sort of turns his head while he's got you in his tongue. And let's see how these guys. I actually should have had you do this, but you sort of played it that way anyway. But they're gonna make willpower tests because this guy is fucking spooky.
Yeah.
So each of them We'll make willpower tests. That guy's not feeling it. One of them is. So the man who yelled out sort of shrieks and starts sprinting back down the hall. And not the hall, the alleyway. And the guy was, "Gunther, get back here, damn it!" It's like, all right then. And he draws his blade, and he is going to charge and attack the mutant.
Oh wow!
And it's sudden death critical rules. So he runs up, and the mutant's left arm was already messed up, right? So he just runs up and catches the mutant across, like cleaves through the shoulder and arm and into the body. And you hear the mutant's tongue goes slack, and his it falls to the ground in a heap and starts convulsing.
Now, where did he get me again with his fangs?
Let's take a look. I think it's the left arm. Yes, he bit your left arm because you were struggling around. He was trying to bite your neck, but you were struggling around and like got your arm up and he bit on that instead.
Okay.
But he is now very dead. Stop that. It's too dramatic now. It's the guard. This guard that stands over. The mutant's like, gods, Sigmar, protect us. What the hell is that thing?
I have no idea.
You alright there, lady?
I'm fine. I was gonna take him out anyway.
Yeah, sure you was. And he looks over the mutant. Oh, hell. Well, you need to escort home, or what? I'm sure that fool who ran away will be back with help soon.
Marguerite begins to truly ponder whether it's worth saving face or meeting one of those things again. I'm gonna do. There you go. If it's a 1, I go alone. If it's a 2, I go escort.
Okay.
Did it roll?
Yep, 2.
I got escort. Yes, please. I can barely stand after this thing. It hit my arm.
And he looks at your arms.
Barely, but it itches.
Yeah, I am. You better get that checked out by an apothecary. Mutants carry all sorts of nasty diseases. You could even catch the heresy getting touched by one.
That thing's called a mutant.
Aye, we get lots of them around the Empire. Usually they keep to the hills away from civilized folk. And if they come down, well, and he looks at his sword and he points it down at it, we give them that kind of treatment. Bunch of heretic-touched monsters.
Marguerite's just staring at the body like she hasn't looked at the guy at all. She's just incredulous. She's like, how can such a thing even exist? Why would my father come to such a disgusting land? Well, she mutters under her breath. She's just mumbling and
then, sure enough, a few other guards come back, led by the guard that ran away.
Oh, great, more of you. Just what I need. Let's make this a show, shall we?
Yeah, you not too grateful for the rescue, eh? And he sort of smirks at that. Like, all right then, boys. Yeah, he looks over. Heinrich, escort the lady back to her home. And no funny business, please. Got enough complaints about the guard. And Gunther, since you want to run away when I'm telling you not to, you get to carry the bloody thing back. And he sheathes his sword. It's like, alright, let's get back to it and show this to the captain in the morning. Let no one say I don't do my job. So they take the corpse, and the man, you know, you see us. I mean, they all look the same to you. They're all a bunch of dirty Reichlanders, the dirty Empire. But he, you know, the man knows
basically, yeah.
Sort of.
But do they? So are they city guard then? So they're not like any private group?
No, these are city guard. You would recognize them from when you came in. So he waits for you to start walking. He's with you.
So I'll start walking. You know, on the way back, or on the way, I'll here and then stop to just try to process what happened, and then I'll keep on going. And I'm extremely paranoid, constantly looking around, you know, looking back at him, expecting him to have fangs explode out of his eyes, you know, just freaking the shit out. I mean, that was my first experience with anything chaotic.
Let me see if he notices you freaking at all.
I'm just freaking the frick out right now. I mean, I'm trying my best to hide it. It's hard.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's just dull. He's kind of just doing what he's told to do.
And after hearing the other guy talk about me being infected with heresy, I'm just, I don't know why, as if I'm staunching the blood flow, which doesn't exist, like imaginary blood flow. I keep my hand, keep my hand covering my arm wound, hoping that somehow that will help.
Yeah, I mean, you've never dealt with this before, so yeah, it's.
I've never dealt with anything. I mean, the most dangerous thing I've ever fought was a deer.
Fighting bucks.
Yeah, and that was with my uncle. So, yeah.
But yeah, the remainder of the walk back passes pretty, you know, nothing really going on. I mean, you see like a bum fight on your way back, which kind of spooks you, but nothing other than that. And Heinrich gets you to the Riverview, and he's like, "This the place?"
Yeah, this is it.
All right. And he blows a snot rocket out into the ground. Stay out of trouble, miss. And like the sergeant said, might want to get that checked.
She just stays silent. Just has her hand on the doorknob.
You hear him trundle away.
Right, Marguerite is pondering if she should just run away. It's all worth it. This crazy-ass place, this mutants, the stench, the people. She thinks it feels like hours, but truly it was probably just a minute or two. Then she turns the knob and walks in.
Yeah, and when you go into the river, there are a couple of gutter blades still up, relaxing. You come into the tavern. It's not as lively as this. I mean, there's a few tables here and there that have a decent amount of people, and there's a decent enough amount of noise, but it's not like
at night.
Yeah. But a good amount of people have retired to their beds.
I go over to the bartender, and I ask for one of their ales, and I ask for a drink, hopefully to dull whatever happened to me.
And the bartender sort of looks up at you, and it's that guy that Lando's been doing, this bald guy, it's kind of portly. You're like, all right. And he passes it over to you.
How strong is this?
As strong as all the rest of the ale in here.
How could I stoop so low? I mutter under my breath as I chug it, trying to get drunk out of my mind, hopefully killing the brain cells that remember what happened. The first time I've ever let anything but wine touch my lips. And I can't say that I'm happy that it is.
One of the gutter blades sees you at the bar and walks and is like, "Oi, Marguerite! You were outside this whole time! We thought you was doing your hair this whole day!" He sort of giving a big toothless grin. Say, "You're drinking ale? Never seen you drink ale."
That's a toothless grin. Is that the same guy who was fighting with me in the previous battle?
There's plenty of guys with toothless grins in this company.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, this is a different one. No, you don't see that guy around.
Before I'm a lady, I'm a merchant. I always make sure it takes me less than 15 minutes to get prim and proper. So your assumption that I'm doing my hair is pure folly, you. Usually Marguerite, who's amazing with the insults, just can't think of anything. Truly, she can't think of anything at all. And just turns back to the mug that's in front of her, looking at her reflection in the dirty liquid.
And he's like, me what? Did my stunning beauty freeze you? And he's just nudging your shoulder. And then he sees that you're kind of looking, I mean, I'm assuming you're looking pretty solemn right now, like, oh.
Yeah.
So you look like you've seen Sigmar's ghost.
You could say something like that. But I can now honestly say that you're not the most ugly bastard I've ever met.
Oh, you could have said that before, Margie. And he's laughing about that one. Well, what you mean? And he's looking at your arms and, oh, you scraped yourself. What happened there?
Well, I was trying to find some good deals. Because as you remember, I am, before all, a merchant. And let's just say that these Empire boys can't take a good insult. I swear they have more fragile feelings than a 12-year-old girl who just found out her father died.
So we're going to try out something. Since you're trying to sort of be deceptive here, you don't want to tell this guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to focus on anything else.
Yeah. So since you're trying to be a bit like to try to avoid this, let's go ahead and do a. So what's your disguise at right now? Because we're gonna use disguise.
Disguise at 19.
So you test it at your full characteristic. So whatever bonus you got to give to test at your, because this is sort of one of your things, right? Like you're a conversationalist. You wouldn't be bad at trying to lie to people.
So what do I add to it then?
Yeah, whatever give your full characteristic for fellowship. So if your fellowship's what,
39.
Yeah, give yourself a plus 25.
19 plus 39.
Oh no,
35.
So you said it's a 19 for your.
It's a 19, and my full fellowship is a 39.
Yeah, this is a plus 20 then.
Plus 20, okay.
Yeah. We may just do gossip from now on, but I mean since gossip's kind of a catch-all, but we'll try disguise here. So he's gonna try to roll perception against it.
Did it roll? I mean, I just rolled it. Okay, it's weird. Oh, there we go. Ooh. Oh wait, no, that's your perception.
Yeah.
That's. I thought that was my disguise.
No.
Yes.
So he kind of gets the sense that you're not being completely forthright about it. He's kind of like eyeing you over and squinting at you and said, "Oh yeah, Empire boys, huh? Didn't like what you was offering, huh?" See, you can tell I look on his face. He's a bit skeptical about what you're telling.
It was a hard night. That's all you need to know right now. Just drop it. Letting my facade break a little.
And he shakes his head like, "Well, all right then. Not trying to be pushy. I'll leave you to your cups then, Margie." And he sort of clicks his tankard against yours and walks away.
I'm silent for a little while, thinking about not only what happened, explaining to everyone, especially that bastard Lando, and I think to myself, I gotta find something to do. So I go up to my room, close the door. These doors, I'm guessing, don't have locks in the room,
No, they
right?
got deadbolts. I mean, it's not.
Deadbolts.
It's all shoddy craftsmanship to you. I mean, it's like shit, but it's a
I
deadbolt.
close, I lock the door, and within a few seconds, I hear noises. I start feeling cramped, so I open the windows, and I do the one thing that I know I can do without thinking. Take out my pipe, fill it up, and smoke the night away.
All right, and over the next day or so, of course, the list of names we brought to you, and I'll have those up for you. I'll give you a private handout after this is done.
Okay.
You would hear gossip here and there. There was a fight in the marketplace where a man was punched in the nuts by a dwarf and then decapitated. Beastman hides were sold, which was a rare sight, and there was the prospect of mutants inside the city. Brought up on the local town watch. Brought up by the local town watch on like a board, basically a notice board to be careful at night. Mutants have been sighted in town.
So I just have a question. Is like the guy said they go to apothecary. Is the apothecary like a place like the medieval kind of doctors where there's just a bunch of beds everywhere, or is it more on a one-on-one basis?
Well, apothecary could mean just like a local healer, or it could be sort of a. Normally, they would say priestess of like priestess of Shalia could be if they were referring to them specifically, but they could it could be like just sort of a guard thing where they're just uneducated and they you know, sort of a stand-in term. It's like the priestesses, apothecaries. I mean, they could mean any number of things with that. Barber surgeon, if they're around, could just be confused with an apothecary, much to the chagrin of the barber surgeon, because that's like a legit art. So, I mean, you could assume any number of things from that. Basically, just his way of telling you should get it treated.
Okay.
But, yeah, you could. I mean, you could go do that, but in mechanics terms, you would heal that one damage today. So.
Well, my character doesn't really care with the damage. It was more about the I don't want to become that thing.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but
yeah, you can. I mean, you can go seek out apothecary, and if you want to like do it, get it some treatment or something like that.
Trying to think about as Marguerite is, would she be willing to let people know about what happened? Well, how many days or how long has it been since the attack happened?
The attack on you or the attack
on me? Yeah.
I mean, this is the next day. Right now, if we go from.
And how does the wound feel?
I mean, it hurts. Like it no more than any other wounds that you felt.
Alright, so I'm like, goddamn gods made me fear for nothing. Mutant heresy. For Shah. Peasant religions. So then I just no, I don't leave it alone, but I don't freak out over it anymore. I just think, oh, it's just a wound. I'll just get it cleaned out and dealt with.
Yeah, so you go. Are you going to like the apothecary or priestesses, or where you could?
You know, just like the cheapest, because I only got one wound, so I mean, it's just like the cheapest. Which like I'm not gonna pay for special treatment. Those gods are probably trying to rip me off. So you know, just the cheapest place to go, I guess, is to get a bandage or something.
All right, so you go to like, and we'll roll it. I'll roll the GM thing to
Okay.
see. But
Yeah.
yeah, so you go to this cheap place. I mean, it's like a couple of the copper, like the lowest possible amount of money. Like it's not even sterlings; it's the copper pennies or whatever it is below that.
How many was it?
Just like
Like,
5.
okay, so
And like the guy who's running it literally just like wraps it up and says, "All right, you're good." He sprinkles he sprinkles something out of a pot on it, basically.
okay.
That smells just like pepper. It smells like pepper to you. Matter of fact, make a perception check
All right.
with a bonus of 10.
Okay. Perception, perception, perception. Roll 10.
You're pretty sure this guy just sprinkled pepper on your arm, like straight up pepper.
Hmm. So
And he
have
did
I paid
not
him yet?
advertise it as pepper at all.
Did I pay him yet or no?
You
Like that
not if you no
before or
not
after?
yet. I mean he sprinkled it up and wrapped it. And now he's waiting to get paid.
I just passed him three brass instead of the 5 yet before.
Counts it.
That should cover the price for your, well, medicine.
He looks up and it takes him a second to realize that you realize that he's using pepper to treat wounds. He's like, "Oh yes, this will do just fine, ma'am." Good day, and he kind of hustles back. This looks sort of flustered after that.
Mhm.
And unless there's anything else you wanted to do, I think that would be good.
That's basically it, man.
All right, let me go ahead and end the recording here.